Good evening and happy independence to our viewers both here in Guyana and abroad. We begin tonight's regional news in Trinidad and Tobago. Approximately 2,000 school students appear to have dropped out of education system since Trinidad and Tobago's COVID-19 pandemic battle began in March 2020. Education Minister Dr. Nian Gatsby-Dolly said the group comprised both primary and secondary school students. There are approximately 225,000 students enrolled in primary and secondary schools across Trinidad and Tobago. In an effort to curtail this growing trend, Gatsby-Dolly said the Ministry of Education is now relying on the community police to help track down the parents of children who have stopped attending classes. We now turn our attention to St. Kitts and Nevis. 7 children in St. Kitts and Nevis are among the 16 active cases of COVID-19 in the Federation. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws has confirmed. On Tuesday, Dr. Laws announced 16 active cases, the highest number since the Federation started its COVID response. She said of the 16 cases, it includes 7 children between ages 3 and 15 and 9 adults between 33 and 49. William Vincent Hodge, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, said that COVID-19 is making a huge impact on the schools. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, scientists monitoring the La Soufriere volcano that erupted explosively on April 9 say despite seismic activity remaining low since the last major explosion and ash venting on April 22, the volcano continues to be in a state of unrest. They warn that escalation in activity can still take place with little or no warning and that in the last 24 hours, thermal anomalies continue to be detected by the NASA firm's alert system. It said that in the last 24 hours, only a few long period and volcano tectonic earthquakes have been recorded and that the volcano is at alert level orange, down from previous red. Residents were warned to be careful as the island gears for the hurricane season, which starts on June 1, and that the possibility of more mudslides as a result of the rains. And now for news from Bermuda. Bermuda tourism officials had double reason to celebrate recently the opening of a new luxury hotel in St. George's and the arrival of the first cruise ship in more than a year. As the St. Regis Bermuda welcomed its first guests after a ribbon-cutting ceremony, the Viking Orion anchored off dockyard in what was hailed as a landmark moment in the island's recovery from the coronavirus pandemic. Premier David Burt, who is also tourism minister, said the opening of the St. Regis is something that would bring much-needed activity to St. George's at the island's east end. Although Royal Caribbean International has cancelled plans to home port its Vision of the Seas ship in Bermuda for 7-night cruises to the Bahamas, Viking Ocean Cruises has gone ahead with its Bermuda home porting plan. Acting Transport Minister Walter Robin hailed the Viking Orion's arrival as a watershed in the battle back to normality from COVID-19, which has battered the island's already struggling economy. The Orion will stay at anchor until crew quarantining is completed on Thursday. The ship will sail from Bermuda on a series of 8-day cruises from June 15. And finally, 16 people, including at least 2 children, have been killed in a rebel attack in Peru, the country's defense minister has confirmed. The far-left Shining Path guerrilla group says it was behind the attack. It left pamphlets at the scene ordering people not to vote in the upcoming presidential election. Peru's President Francisco Sagasti called the attack a terrorist act and said that he had sent the military and police to the area to ensure there were no more impunity. Pedro Castillo, a trade unionist who is currently in the lead in opinion polls, said it was a cowardly attack on the people. And that is all for your regional news. Thank you for joining.